Chapter 2: The Origin and Evolution of the Earth. First topic is early theories. In that case, we will talk first about origin of the Earth. First one is nebular hypothesis. This was proposed by German philosopher Immanuel Kant, which was later revised by Laplace, mathematician Laplace, in 1796. This theory says that planets were formed out of a cloud of material associated with a youthful sun. And this youthful sun was slowly rotating in the cloud of gas around the youthful sun, from which our planets were formed. Next one is 1900, Chamberlain and Moulton. They talk about a wandering star it approached sun, because of which a cigar-shaped extension of material was separated from the solar surface. This wandering star passed away, but this cigar-shaped material this started to condense and revolve around sun. That means it became planet. So here is sun, and that extension of materials condensed and it started to revolve around the sun. In this way, planets were formed. This theory was supported by Sir James Jeans and Sir Harold Jeffrey. At a later date, arguments considered of a companion to the sun have been coexisting. That means how the planets were formed. There was a sun, and there was a companion to it, from which planets were formed. And these are called binary theories. And this Chamberlain and Moulton theory about a wandering star approaching a sun also comes under the binary theories. Next one is revised nebular hypothesis. This was proposed by Otto Schmidt in Russia, and Karl Weizsäcker in Germany. Here they say that Sun was surrounded by solar nebula. Nebula means a large gas cloud containing mostly helium, hydrogen, and dust. The friction and collision of particles led to formation of a disc-shaped cloud. This is nebula. Because of collision of particles, disc-shaped cloud is formed, and planets will form through the process of accretion. Accretion means gradual addition of materials. Slowly, these layers condensed into planets. Next is modern theories. Origin of the universe. First one is Big Bang theory. It is also called expanding universe hypothesis. It was proposed by Edwin Hubble in 1920. He provided evidence that universe is expanding. As time passes, galaxies move further and further apart. It can be explained by balloon experiment, where suppose this is balloon, and if we mark stars on, let's see stars as galaxies. Now we mark them, and if we inflate balloon, the distance between galaxies increases. But with that, size of galaxies also increasing, which is wrong in reality. In reality, size of galaxy is not increasing. Okay. Now, what are the stages in development of the universe? First, what happened? There's tiny ball. All matter forming the universe existed in one place in the form of tiny ball. It is called singular atom. It had infinite density and temperature and small volume. What happened? This exploded violently. Violent expansion. Exploded violently. and this led to some energy conversion to matter. All this happened 13.7 billion years ago. Big Bang event happened. Some energy converted into matter, and slowly rate of expansion slowed down. Within 3 minutes, within first 3 minutes of Big Bang event, first atom began to form, and within 300 years from the Big Bang event, temperature dropped to 4500 Kelvin. This gave rise to atomic matter formation, and universe became transparent. Expansion of the universe means increase in space between the galaxies. Then there comes second one, Boyle's concept of steady state. Here it is said that universe is same at any point of time. But scientific community favors Big Bang theory. Next topic is under modern theory star formation. The distribution of matter and energy was not even, which gave rise to differences in densities, which led to difference in gravitational forces, which again led to matter grouping. That means it caused the matter to get drawn together, which gave rise to galaxies. Now, what is a galaxy? Galaxy is a group of stars. It contains large number of stars. Galaxies spread over vast distances that are measured in thousands of light years. Let's say, what is a light year? Light year is measure of distance, not of time. And the speed of light is 300,000 kilometer per second. And what is 1 light year? One light year is distance that light travel in 1 year. And this distance is 9.461 into 10 raised to 12 kilometer. And how this value 9.461 into 10 raised to 12 9.461 into 10 raised to 12 kilometer is calculated how? Let's see. Distance equals to speed into time. Speed of light, we know 300,000 kilometer approximately per second. So in 1 year, how many seconds? How many seconds in a year? How many seconds? 1 year, 365 days, and in a day there are 24 hours, and in 1 hour there are 60 minutes, and in 1 minute there are 60 seconds. So here cancelled, all this cancelled. We left with seconds. How much it comes? Around 3.154 into 10 raised to 7 seconds. Now, distance from this formula, from 1. Distance that light travels in a year. We have speed 300,000 kilometer per second into 3.154 into 10 raised to 7 seconds. This gets cancelled. How much? The value 9.46 into 10 raised to 12 kilometer. That's how this value is arrived. 9.461 into 10 raised to 12 kilometer. That is the distance that light traveled in 1 year. So where was I? Matter and energy in then was not evenly distributed, and differences in density caused differences in gravitational forces, which resulted in matter grouping, which later developed into galaxies, and a galaxy contains large number of stars, and which are the distance between galaxies measured in light years. And we already saw what is a light year. The diameters of individual galaxies range from 80,000 to 150,000 light years. A galaxy starts to form by accumulation of hydrogen gas in the form of very large cloud called nebula. Hydrogen gas. Eventually, growing nebula develops groups of gases. There will be clumps of gases all around nebula due to difference in gravitational forces and differences in density. As we saw above, these localized groups of gases continue to grow into even denser bodies, giving rise to the formation of stars. So this is how a star is formed. And the formation of star is believed to have taken place around 5 to 6 billion years ago. Next we will see formation of planets. We already saw in star formation in nebula, that is a large cloud of gas due to accumulation of hydrogen gas. Because matter and energy is not evenly distributed, not evenly distributed, differences in density, and which again leads to gravitational forces differences, matter grouping, which develops into galaxies, which contains stars, and we saw that due to differences in gravitational forces, matters are accumulated, and these matter later develops into stars. So we know that stars are localized groups of gas, and this is nebula. Now if we look at these lumps, if we zoom into these lumps of gases, groups of gases, the gravitational force within the lumps leads to formation of a core, that is formation of a center to the gas cloud, and a huge rotating disk of gas and dust develops around the gas core. What happens is a core is formed due to gravitational force. And huge rotating disk of gas and dust around the gas core. And in the next stage, this gas cloud starts getting condensed, and matter around the core develops into small rounded objects. These small rounded objects, by the process of cohesion, develop into planetesimals. Larger bodies start forming by collision. These planetesimals collide with each other and they form larger bodies. Because of collision. In the final stage, gravitational attraction causes the matter to stick together, and planetesimals, a large number of smaller bodies, we know that. And gravitational attraction causes the material to stick together. In the final stage, these large number of small planetesimals group together to form fewer large bodies in the form of planets. Next main topic is our solar system. Our solar system consists of 8 planets. The nebula, large cloud from which our solar system is formed, started its collapse and core formation around 5 to 5.6 billion years ago. That means our solar system formation started around 5 to 5.6 billion years ago, and and 4.6 billion years ago, planets were formed. Our solar system consists of sun, that is a star, 8 planets, 63 moons, billions of smaller bodies like asteroids, comets, and huge quantity of dust grains and gases. Out of 8 planets, there are 2 types. One is inner planets, another one is outer planets. Inner planets, they lie between sun and belt of asteroids. Other 4 planets are outer planets. And the first 4 planets, Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars are inner planets. They are also called terrestrial planets, meaning they are Earth-like because they are made up of rock and metals and relatively have high densities. And remaining four planets are Jupiter-like or Jovian or gas giant planets. Jovian means Jupiter-like. They are larger than terrestrial planets, that is inner planets. They have thick atmosphere, mostly made up of helium and hydrogen gas. And we know that all the planets formed around 4.6 billion years ago. And one fact is that in August 2006, till then, Pluto was considered a planet, but in International Astronomical Union decided that Pluto is a dwarf planet. Like 2003 UB 313. And why Pluto is a dwarf planet? Let's see. To become a full-sized planet, there are three conditions. First one is it should orbit around the sun. Second, it should have sufficient mass to assume hydrostatic equilibrium, a nearly round shape. Third condition is it has cleared the neighborhood around its orbit. Pluto meets only two of these criteria. That is first one and second one. It doesn't meet the criteria that is clear the neighborhood around its orbit. The difference between terrestrial and Jovian planets. The terrestrial planets were formed in the close vicinity of the parent star. That is, formed near parent star. Jovian planets are formed at quite distant location. Next one, intense solar winds, because of which it blew off lots of gas and dust from the terrestrial planets. No, not at all intense solar winds. That means no blew off of gas and dust from Jovian planets. Third one is terrestrial planets are smaller. That means lower gravity, which in result could not hold gases, escaping gases. They are big. Jovian planets are bigger, so larger gravity. Jovian planets are bigger in size, more gravity. That means holding gases. The moon. Moon is the only natural satellite. Moon is the only natural satellite of the Earth. In 1838, Sir George Darwin suggested that Earth and Moon formed from a single rapidly rotating body. Earth and Moon came from single rapidly rotating body. The whole mass became dumbbell shaped like this, and eventually it broke off. One became Earth, another became Moon. And there is another theory which says that material forming the moon was separated from what we have at present, the depression occupied by Pacific Ocean. However, present scientists do not accept both of these explanations. It is now generally believed that formation of moon as a satellite of the Earth is result of giant impact or the big splat. What it says that our Earth, soon after the formation of the Earth, three times the size of the Mars body came and struck Earth, which resulted in breaking off large part of the Earth into space. And this mass started rotating around the Earth. So what it says, first, three times size of the Mars, a body of the size of 1 to 3 times that of Mars collided into Earth. This resulted, it blasted a large part of Earth into space. This blasted material started continued to orbit the Earth and eventually formed into present Moon. And this happened 4.44 billion years ago. Next is evolution of the Earth. Do you know that the planet Earth initially was a barren, rocky, hot object with a thin atmosphere of hydrogen and helium? This is far from the present day picture of the Earth. Hence, there must be some events and processes which may have caused this change from rocky, barren, and hot Earth to a beautiful planet with ample amount of water, conducive atmosphere, favoring the existence of life. In the following section, you will find out how the period between 4,600 million years and the present led to the evolution of life on the surface of planet. Earth has a layered structure. It is a section of the Earth. Inside is core, above it mantle, and then there is crust. There are too many tiny details in this, but let's skip just for now. We will see it later. It has a layered structure. From the outermost end of the atmosphere to the center of the Earth, material that exists is not uniform. The atmospheric matter has least density. As we go towards center of the Earth, density increases. And material from the atmosphere towards the core of the Earth differs in characteristics and content. Let's talk about evolution of lithosphere. Initially, Earth was in volatile state, that means unstable state. During its primordial stage. Primordial means ancient. With time, due to gradual increase in density, temperature inside the Earth started to increase. As a result, material inside the Earth started getting separated depending on their densities. Due to this, heavier materials like iron sink towards the center, and lighter materials move towards surface. With time, this part became crust due to solidification and condensation. It is through the process of differentiation, that is, material separation based on densities. It is through the process of differentiation that the earth forming material got separated into different layers. Starting from the surface to the central parts of the earth, we have layers like, let's see, if we cross section, this is core, this is mantle, and this is crust. Starting from the surface to the central parts, we have layers like crust, mantle, outer core, and inner core. From the crust to the core, density of the material increases. Next is evolution of atmosphere and hydrosphere. The present composition of Earth's atmosphere is chiefly contributed by nitrogen and oxygen. There are 3 stages in the evolution of atmospheric evolution. 3 stages of atmospheric evolution. In first stage, loss of primordial atmosphere. Primordial means ancient. In second stage, hot interior of the earth contributed to the evolution of atmosphere. Finally, composition of atmosphere modified by the living world through photosynthesis. And early atmosphere with hydrogen and helium was stripped by solars. This process in all planets. This process happened in all beings. The living world through photosynthesis. And the early atmosphere with hydrogen and helium was stripped by solar winds. This process happened in all terrestrial planets. So, due to solar winds, loss of primordial stage. During the cooling of the Earth, gases and water vapor released from the interior solid Earth. Second stage was hot interior of the Earth contributed to the evolution of atmosphere. So here what happened is, during cooling of Earth, gases and water vapor released from the interior this started the evolution of present atmosphere. The early atmosphere largely contained water vapor, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, methane, ammonia, and very little free oxygen. Continuous volcanic eruptions contributed water vapor and gases to the atmosphere. The carbon, as the Earth started cooling, the water vapor released started getting condensed. And carbon dioxide in atmosphere got dissolved in rainwater, and because of rain, temperature further decreased, causing more condensation and more rains. This gave rise to oceans. So the Earth's oceans were formed within 500 millions from the formation of the Earth. That is, oceans are 4,000 million years old. This is all about second stage. And third stage, composition of atmosphere modified by the living world through the photosynthesis. What happened? Around 3,800 million years ago, life began to evolve. Between 2,500 to 3,000 million years before the present, process of photosynthesis began. This was confined to oceans earlier for a long time. Then oceans began to have the contribution of oxygen through the process of photosynthesis. As photosynthesis plants, they gave oxygen due to photosynthesis, and this oxygen flooded the oceans. So oceans were saturated with oxygen. Due to this, what happened? 2,000 million years ago, oxygen started flooding the atmosphere. That is, it came out of oceans and it floods the atmosphere. Last topic is origin of life. The last phase in the evolution of Earth relates to the origin and evolution of life. It is undoubtedly clear that initially the Earth or even the atmosphere of the Earth was not conducive for the development of life. Modern scientists refer to the origin of life as kind of chemical reaction which first generated complex organic molecules. And assembled them. This assemblage was such that they could duplicate themselves, converting inanimate matter to living substances. The record of life that existed on the planet in different periods is found in the rocks in the form of fossils. The microscopic structures closely related to the present form of blue algae have been found in geological formations much older than some 3,000 million years ago. It can be assumed that life began to evolve sometime around 3,800 million years ago.